Now on CoastTV News.
Winds of politics, Delaware lawmakers debate a controversial bill that could impact local government's authority in alternative energy projects. Local schools could lose police. Indian River funding for school resource officers from local police departments is still up in the air, what that could mean for the school community. Attack on Israeli hostage advocates. At least 8 people were injured in Colorado after a suspect targeted demonstrators, marking the latest developments in the ongoing investigation.
The week starts on the cool side, then a taste of summer beginning Tuesday with highs in the lower 80s, upper 80s by the end of the week. I'll track the toasty temperatures coming up next.
This is CoastTV News Today.
Good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. Matt Pensick has the day off. Thank you for joining us for our 5 o'clock hour. We are coming off of a cool but beautiful Sunday, and if you are ready for some summer temperatures, I think First Alert Meteorologist Bob Trahey is going to have some good news for you. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Elisa. Good morning, Delmarva. You know, yesterday was the unofficial start to summer, Elisa. It is the beginning of meteorological summer, and boy, it'll be feeling like it as we go through the week ahead. But it's chilly this morning. We've got 40s, 49 in Willards, Gumboro, 48 in Bridgeville and Redden, 53 in Millsboro. A little milder at the beaches with mid to upper 50s there, as we do have a light northwesterly breeze right now. Now we're looking at mostly clear skies. Thunderstorms not too far away. They had those offshore from Cape Charles and Chincoteague a little earlier, but those are moving out to sea. Otherwise, we're seeing high pressure building in with clear skies, and you can see that high building in from the Ohio Valley, and that will provide nice weather today, a cool day, and then that warm up as we go through the week ahead. Here's Futurecast this morning, starting out in the 40s and 50s. So you'll definitely need that jacket out the door, maybe a little bit of fog. And then mid-morning, we're in the 60s. By noon, we're into the 60s to right around 70 in Salisbury and Long Neck, cooler 60s at the beaches. And you may have noticed over the weekend the hazy look to the sky. That is smoke from Canadian wildfires. And we could see that again today. You know, it's not going to be a health problem because that smoke is way up there in the sky, but definitely it will be a little hazy at times, with temperatures in the low 70s as we go into this afternoon, inland areas, and 60s at the coast, and pretty pleasant as we go into the evening hours. So you'll see the hazy skies with sunshine today and temperatures in the 70s, then 80s beginning tomorrow, upper 80s by the end of the week. I'll track the warm temperatures coming up a little bit later in the newscast.
Thank you, Bob. In our top story this half hour, we have new details on a story we have been covering. In Delaware, lawmakers are debating a controversial bill that could limit the authority of local governments. Specifically, U.S. Wind's plans for an electric substation in Sussex County. The bill changes Delaware state code to prohibit counties from denying conditional use permits for electrical substations that meet certain conditions. That's exactly what the Sussex County Council did back in December, and if passed, that bill would reverse that vote.
Some people claim that this bill overrides local control, but it doesn't do that, because the county councils they decide zoning, they've already decided on the zoning. They just need to abide by it.
It really sets a dangerous precedent to say, hey, if the state doesn't like how your local representatives make a decision, then we now have a precedent to show where we can overrule that one decision that we don't like.
And that bill has been assigned to the Senate Environment, Energy, and Transportation Committee. Lawmakers are set to discuss this today in Dover. The Indian River School Board of Education is worried about the cost of keeping local cops in schools. These officers, usually referred to as school resource officers, have been partially funded by the district in the past. Without the funding, which runs nearly $300,000 a year, Georgetown, Millsboro, Selbyville, and Ocean View will have to look for new options or pull those police officers altogether. Some parents are worried about the possible impact this could have on students.
It's a really important relationship that I think the kids will really miss if they don't have that.
And in a statement to CoastTV, the district cited improvements to school security, including upgraded entry vestibules, additional cameras, and weapon detection systems. And we'll have more on this later on CoastTV News Today. If you've driven through Milton, you've probably experienced a narrow street or two, and happening today, the town is looking to put more restrictions on large trucks driving through parts of town, specifically for trucks with more than 2 axles or weighing over 5,000 pounds. If adopted, and this is important, that ordinance would not apply to trucks providing local services. The Milton Town Council is discussing this at their meeting tonight at 6:30 at the Milton Library. Also at that meeting, a discussion and possible vote on short-term rentals. According to the agenda, town officials could vote to update an ordinance related to the governance of these facilities. Changes and add definitions such as local contact person to the ordinance. That ordinance also proposes that 3 or more violations within 1 calendar year could result in revoking a short-term rental license or delaying a new one. Happening today in a groundbreaking for the Riverwalks. That project would add 27 townhomes next to the Mississippian River. That event will take place at 11 a.m. New this morning, today is the filing deadline for Rehoboth's municipal election. The election is set for August 9th. So far, there are 2 people who have filed to run: Susan Stewart, who is currently on the Planning Commission, and local Jeffrey Good. There are 2 commissioners who are up for re-election, including Edward Knarznowski, who is in his second 3-year term, and Francis Bunky Marker, who is in his first. He must file to run in that election by 4:30 today. The next step in banning beach tents and camp canopies in Ocean City is taking place tonight with the second reading of an ordinance. It's similar to Dewey Beach's policy, and Mayor Rick Meehan and members of the council are concerned over tents blocking views and beach access. Baby tents will still be allowed, but all other tents and unattended canopies set up before 10 a.m. are banned. That second reading takes place at 6 p.m. at the town council meeting. An update this morning on the scary situation that took place in Colorado on Sunday. Police say in Boulder, several people were injured, one critically, during a peaceful march bringing attention to Israeli hostages held in Gaza. NBC's Alice Barr shows us how the FBI is investigating what it is calling a targeted terror attack after police say they received reports of a man with a weapon setting people on fire.
This morning, a painful recovery for 8 victims and an entire community after investigators say a man used a makeshift flamethrower and shouted "Free Palestine" during an attack in Boulder, Colorado on a march calling for the return of Israeli hostages still held in Gaza.
It is clear that this is a targeted act of violence, and the FBI is investigating this as an act of terrorism.
Videos from the scene show a man shouting and waving bottles filled with some kind of liquid. Authorities now identifying the suspect as 45-year-old Mohammed Sabri Solomon. 2 senior law enforcement officials say he's an Egyptian national and that while the investigation is in the early stages, he appears to have acted alone. Police arrested him at the scene.
And they immediately ran into a chaotic situation where a man was throwing Molotov cocktails and using other devices to hurt people.
Witnesses joined in, rushing to help the victims between the ages of 52 to 88, some with very serious burns.
I was just like, how can I help? And they had like really bad burns all up on their legs. And then I went over to this other grass area that was like right by the front entrance. And there were some people, there was another lady on the ground with really bad burns on her legs, just like screaming.
The attack follows the deadly shooting less than 2 weeks ago of 2 Israeli embassy staff members in Washington, D.C., after which investigators say the suspect shouted that he did it for Gaza. And as the war there between Israel and Hamas drags on, both anti-Semitic and anti-Muslim hate crimes are on the rise. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
We are just getting started in this hour of Coast TV News today. We still have a lot more news to get to. Coming up, Furry Friend Beach Ban will tell you the rules across Delmarva as summer inches closer. And Orange Crush Ownership, the event that took place over the weekend to honor the drink in a possibly surprising place. And Mind on Mental Health, how Milford Police are informing locals on what to do in a scary situation. All that and more as Coast TV News Today continues.
5:11 on our Monday morning, mostly clear skies, some high clouds in Dobra, 55 there. We've got some upper 40s from Delmar to Gumboro, Bridgeville, 49, 47 in Harrington. So make sure you have that jacket or heavy sweatshirt out the door. It is chilly, mid to upper 50s at the coast. Winds are calm to light at the beaches as we're looking at mostly clear skies. There are storms to our south and east, but these are moving out to sea away from Delmarva, but kind of close. Anyway, we're looking at mainly clear skies skies as high pressure is building in, and that will ensure a nice day for the region. Bus stop forecast for the kiddos. Make sure they're wearing some heavier clothes. A chilly start. Sunshine, 50 degrees. And as I mentioned earlier, hazy sunshine this afternoon due to smoky conditions from Canadian wildfires. More on that coming up. Heading home, 72 for the kiddos with sunny and pleasant conditions.
Thank you, Bob. Happening today, Milford police are helping the community understand what to expect when they call for help. The agency is hosting an event centered around a mental health crisis and response. The department says it will discuss the difference between calling 911 and 988, who to ask for depending on the situation, and the department's co-responder unit. This event will take place at the police department at 4 p.m. Georgetown police are warning locals about a scam going around. According to officials, scammers are impersonating police officers to steal financial information or solicit money. Police say they will never ask for your banking details or demand payment over the phone. And to stay safe, always verify who you're speaking with before sharing any personal information. If you're planning a solo trip, there's something you should know before you book your flight. 3 of the biggest U.S. airlines have been charging higher fares for solo flyers than those traveling in groups, according to the consumer travel website Thrifty Traveler. Thrifty Traveler says Delta, United, and American Airlines are all currently charging a so-called tax on single travelers on certain routes. A popular snack maker is suing Aldi over its packaging. The lawsuit filed by Mondelez International alleges the grocery store chain is copying its package with Aldi's private label snacks closely resembling their own. Mondelez produces snacks like Oreos, Ritz crackers, and Teddy Grahams. The company is seeking monetary damages and asking Aldi to stop selling products in question.
Here's a live look at Ocean City. 58 Gateway Subaru Cam looking good on the beaches. I saw some seagulls just flying around. They're awake. It's a quiet start to the week and chilly, a pleasant Monday on the way. Then the 80s begin Tuesday with summer-like warmth the rest of the week. Upper 80s by the end of the week. I'll have your toasty forecast details coming up in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
The time is now 5:16 and we are taking a live look outside of Ocean City this morning. And Bob, on that beach, I know it's going to be pretty cool right there with the wind coming off of the water. It's cooler out this morning, but hopefully warmer temperatures are in our future.
They are. Not so much today, Elisa, but boy, tomorrow we get into the 80s and then those temperatures really start to take off, as yesterday was the unofficial start to summer, the first day of June. 74 today, and then we jump to 81 for a high Tuesday, 85 Wednesday. 87 Thursday, 86 Friday. Some places well inland could be flirting with that 90-degree mark as we see high pressure sliding offshore, becoming that classic Bermuda high with a southwesterly flow. So not only warm, but it turns muggy. And I think places maybe near D.C. or away from Delmarva hit 90. I think we're probably just going to stay in the 80s, but it's still going to be feeling like summer as we go through the week. Not feeling like summer now. 48 in Redmond, 49 in Bridgeville. You're going to want to bundle up. 49 in Willards. Rehoboth here at 56. Bethany Beach 55 and Ocean City at 58 as the winds are calm inland. A little bit of a breeze at the coast, but they're coming in out of the north and west as we're looking at mainly clear skies. But I've been watching these showers and storms that are moving away from Delmarva, but they look pretty frisky, but they are moving to the east of Chincoteague and Cape Charles. So no worries there. Otherwise, we've got high pressure building in from the west, and that will ensure some beautiful weather as we go through the next several days. And eventually this high will shift offshore and then we'll start to really warm things up. Futurecast this morning warming into the 50s as we go to the early morning hours. Then by mid-morning, we're in the 60s. By the noon hour, thereabouts, upper 60s inland areas. I think lower 70s by mid-afternoon from Millsboro to Delmar, and then 60s at the beaches. And you'll notice a hazy complexion to the sky with smoking conditions. More on that coming up. In the meantime, we're looking at quiet conditions this evening and then through the overnight clear skies and another cool start as we go into your Tuesday morning. We're looking at temperatures inland in the low to mid 50s and mid 50s at the beaches, and then a little warmer as we go into Tuesday afternoon with lower 80s from Salisbury to Seaford, around 80 in Millsboro, but cooler 60s and 70s at the coast, and then pretty comfortable into Tuesday evening. Here is the smoke forecast, and we're looking at, well, low to moderate chances of smoke as we go through the day. But then tonight, you see these colors change from yellow to orange and then red. Now, all this smoke is pretty much aloft. It's not really a health problem. It'll make for beautiful sunrises and sunsets, but definitely smoky conditions the next couple of days. And the humidity does start to increase too. Now, we're comfortable the next couple of days, but then we get into the muggy range by Wednesday, and then humid by Thursday, and then maybe bordering on very humid by Friday into Saturday. Here's your Paul Davis 7-day forecast. 74 with sunshine today. A couple of more cool mornings with lows in the 50s Tuesday and Wednesday morning. 81 Tuesday, 85 Wednesday, and then I think Thursday is a warm day. 87 Friday, 86. Definitely feeling like summer. Looks like our next rain chance comes in on Saturday. Some showers and storms. 82 degrees, and then 81 on Sunday. Congratulations to Eugene Abernathy from Ocean View. He has a brand new umbrella from Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling and CoastTV.
Thank you, Bob. Orange Crush is for everyone. Harborside Bar and Grill celebrated being recognized as the creators of what is now the cocktail of Maryland. Maryland State Delegate Wayne Hartman is recognizing Harborside as the creators of the original Orange Crush cocktail. Chris Wall and Lloyd Whitehead have been owners of the Harborside Bar and Grill in West Ocean City since 1993, and they are the reason why the original Orange Crush is being recognized as the state cocktail of Maryland.
We always like the idea of fresh squeezed juices and stuff like that, so we try to implement that into one of our cocktails, and it took off.
Although you can make your own Orange Crush at home, everyone we've talked to over the weekend says no one quite makes it the same as where it all started. And last August, then Governor John Carney of Delaware signed House Bill 444. The bill officially designated the Orange Crush as the state cocktail of Delaware. The Orange Crush is now a proud symbol of Delaware and Maryland beach culture. Up next on Coast TV News today, furry friend Beach Band will tell you the times it is okay to bring your dog to the beach now that summer regulations are in place. Don't go anywhere. With the official start of summer just weeks away, rules are now in place that limit when you can bring your dog to the beach. Starting in Lewis from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., no dogs are allowed on the beach, and your dog must be leashed at all times. In the nation's summer capital, no dogs are allowed at any time on the beach or the boardwalk. And in Dewey Beach, before 9:30 a.m. or after 5:30 are the times you are allowed to bring a man's best friend to the beach. Greg Gonzalez runs Jungle Gym's Total Pet Care in Dewey, and he thinks other coastal towns should follow in Dewey's footsteps.
I think we love the fact that Dewey's a dog town, and we think that Rehoboth should kind of learn from us a little bit and think, fully, we obviously love dogs here, so we're just excited to have the doggies here, and they should be able to go on the board, in our opinion, too.
And for Lewis and Rehoboth, the rules are in place until September 30th. Rules are in place in Dewey until the week after Labor Day. And over in Ocean City, dogs aren't allowed on the beach or the boardwalk from May 1st through September 30th. But there is a spot just for them, the Ocean City Dog Playground, that is located at 94th and Bayside. It offers daily, multi-day, and annual passes, but registration is required. All right, Bob, it is June. I think people are going to start getting impatient because we're all ready for that beach weather. It's been cool outside. Come on, It's almost summertime.
Well, we have to, be patient because summer warmth is on the way, Elisa. Today is still a little on the cool side, but it'll get better as we go through the week. Fenwick Island and Ocean City, lots of sunshine. Temperatures in the 60s this afternoon, maybe close to 70 in Fenwick Island. Rip current threat is low. UV index is high, so have that higher SPF sunscreen. Lewis, close to 70, a good-looking day to head on up to Cape May on the ferry, looking at pretty flat seas. And Rehoboth looking at temperatures near 70. On the Bayside, 1-foot waves, UV index high in Cambridge, lower 70s there. And the same for Crisfield, too. Once again, the sky a little hazy due to smoke from the Canadian wildfires. More on that and the big warm-up on the way coming up in the next half hour.
After the break on Coast TV News today, Milton truck traffic changes. We'll tell you how officials could decide to reroute vehicles out of certain areas in town. And local schools could lose police Indian River funding for school resource officers from local police departments is still up in the air, what that could mean for the school community. And wind project control conflict, we'll tell you who Delaware is set to discuss legislation that would overrule a Sussex County decision. Coast TV News today. We'll be right back.
Now on Coast TV News.
Winds of politics, Delaware lawmakers debate a controversial bill that could impact local government's authority in alternative energy projects. Local schools could lose police. Indian River funding for school resource officers from local police departments is still up in the air, what that could mean for the school community. Attack on Israeli hostage advocates. At least 8 people were injured in Colorado after a suspect targeted demonstrators, marking the latest developments in the ongoing investigation.
The week starts on the cool side, then a taste of summer beginning Tuesday with highs in the lower 80s, upper 80s by the end of the week. I'll track the toasty temperatures coming up next.
This is Coast TV News Today.
Good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. Matt Pensick has the day off. It is 5:29 on this Monday morning. Hard to believe it is June already. School should be winding down soon, but those temperatures are not necessarily feeling summer-like. And First Alert meteorologist Bob Trihey is going to be joining us. Bob, I know for your meteorologist community, it is summer, according to your calendar.
It is, yes. Yesterday was the start to meteorological summer, Elisa, and not exactly feeling like it yet, but hang in there. We're going to be seeing 80s for the week ahead, but out the door, it is chilly. You need that heavier jacket or sweatshirt. Upper 40s from Willard to Delmarva, Gumboro, 49 in Dagsboro, 52 in Millsboro, 47 in Harrington right now. Really chilly. Not as chilly at the beaches with temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. A little bit of a breeze at the coast, but mainly calm inland as we have high pressure building in. We're looking at clear skies. There are some storms to our south and east. These continue to move out to sea away from Delmarva as we're looking at high pressure building in, and we're looking at a good looking day with that high. But as I mentioned earlier, skies will be a little hazy, a little smoky due to Canadian wildfires. 40s and 50s this morning, warm into the 60s by mid-morning. I think by lunchtime, upper 60s, close to 70 in Long Neck, cooler 60s, near 70 at the beaches with low 70s inland. I think some places getting close to mid 70s, especially from Seaford into the Salisbury area, looking pretty quiet into the evening hours. Riding the ferry up to Cape May, looking at sunshine, a good looking day for boating, a light northwesterly breeze, and temperatures by afternoon into the upper 60s.
Thank you, Bob. And our top story this half hour, offshore wind projects are on the docket in Dover, and lawmakers are set to discuss a controversial bill today, specifically U.S. Wind's plans for an electric substation in Sussex County. The bill changes Delaware state code to prohibit counties from denying conditional use permits for electrical substations that meet certain conditions. That's exactly what the Sussex County Council did back in December, and if passed, this bill would reverse that vote. That bill has been assigned to the Senate Environment and Energy and Transportation Committee. Lawmakers are set to discuss this today in Dover. The Indian River School Board of Education is worried about the cost of keeping local cops in schools. These officers, usually referred to as school resource officers, have been partially funded by the district in the past. Without funding, which runs nearly $300,000 a year, Georgetown, Millsboro, Selbyville, and Ocean View will have to look for new options or pull these police officers altogether. Coast TV News reporter Ana Sofia Roman breaks it all down for us and shows us how the community feels.
The purpose of school resource officers is to keep everyone safe, but in the face of a tough budget battle, the Indian River School District has yet to approve SRO funding. If that doesn't change, that means 7 officers will be cut down to 3 Delaware State Police trying to cover the same amount of ground. One is assigned to Indian River High School, 2 others are stationed at the Sussex Central High School and Sussex Central Middle School complex. According to the district, those officers will also respond to other schools in their coverage areas. That's the current plan. In Georgetown, the police department has decided to step up and absorb the financial hit themselves so they can keep their SRO, a single officer who monitors Georgetown Elementary, North Georgetown Elementary, and Georgetown Middle School.
It's immeasurable, the benefits that of us having our own school resource officer, and despite the fact that we are have vacancies on patrol right now, I feel so passionate about it that we are going to continue to have a school resource officer in the schools of Georgetown that is assigned to the Georgetown Police Department.
Even if these cuts are made official, the Indian River School District told Coast TV News every school has at least one armed constable, usually a retired officer that is responsible for monitoring and securing the school campus before, during, and after the school day. That program is budgeted at nearly $1.3 million for the upcoming school year. In a statement to Coast TV News, the district said in part, quote, "The Indian River School District is committed to providing a safe learning environment for students and staff, as evidenced by the funding of the School Constable Program, which has been in place since 2013. It also cited improvement to school security, including upgraded entry vestibules, additional cameras, and weapons detection systems. But some parents are still worried.
It's a really important relationship that I think the kids will really miss if they don't have that.
The Georgetown Police Department is willing to start the year with an $82,000 deficit if the ultimate decision is made not to fund the program.
The benefits of having an officer in there, knowing the kids, knowing the staff, knowing the layout, having full understanding of how that school operates is well beyond the inconvenience of the money for us.
Chief Holm from Georgetown PD says for him, the decision was a no-brainer. In Georgetown, Ana Sofia Roman, Coast TV News.
The Millsboro Police Department told Coast TV News they are waiting to meet with the school district before making any decisions. Meanwhile, the Ocean View Police Department says they are waiting to see what happens with Thursday's referendum. Coast TV News asked the Indian River School District if the proposals from local police departments would be considered if the referendum passes, but we did not hear back. If you've driven through Milton, you've probably experienced a narrow street or two, and happening today, the town is looking to put more restrictions on large trucks driving through parts of town, specifically for trucks with more than 2 axles or weighing over 5,000 pounds. If adopted, and this is important, the ordinance would not apply to trucks providing local services. One Miltonian hopes the change goes through.
I think it's not only prudent and reasonable, but it's wise. It's a safety concern. It's very difficult to walk around at the shops and things, and the local traffic and the local cars have difficulty when there are those big things coming through.
And the Milton Town Council is discussing this at their meeting tonight at 6:30 at the Milton Library. Happening today, a groundbreaking for the Riverwalk Villas in Milford. The project will add 27 townhomes next to the Mississippian River. This event will take place at 11 a.m. The next step in banning beach tents and canopies in Ocean City is taking place tonight with the second reading of an ordinance. It's similar to Dewey Beach's policy, and Mayor Rick Meehan and members of the council are concerned over tents blocking views and beach access. Baby tents will still be allowed, but other tents and unattended canopies set up before 10 a.m. are banned. The second reading will take place at 6 p.m. at the town council meeting. Developing news, at least 8 people were injured in what officials are calling an anti-Semitic attack in Colorado on Sunday. Police say a man in Boulder set multiple people on fire at a Jewish community event. It was a weekly gathering to support Israeli hostages in Gaza. According to the FBI, the man yelled "Free Palestine" during that attack. Witnesses described a chaotic scene as bystanders rushed in with water to help victims and extinguish the flames.
It is clear that this is a targeted act of violence, and the FBI is investigating this as an act of terrorism. The subject has been identified as Mohammed Sabri Solomon, and he's 45 years old.
The man believed to be the suspect has been arrested, and the Boulder County District Attorney says the attacker will be charged in the coming days. A source said federal charges are also expected. Starting tonight, a new voice will be delivering the news you trust. Tom Yamas takes the helm as anchor of NBC Nightly News. Be sure to tune in weeknights at 6:30 right here on Coast TV. And we have a lot more news to get to. Don't go anywhere. Coming up, supersized hurricane season. We'll tell you what experts predict as the Atlantic hurricane season is now underway. And Cape Henlopen baseball won the state title last night in Wilmington. We'll hear from the Vikings who made it possible. And Pride Appreciation underway. We'll tell you what this month means to locals on Delmarva. Stay with us on Coast TV News Today.
It is exactly 5:40 on this Monday morning, looking a little hazy, a little bit of fog on the Spicer Brothers camp in Salisbury, but it's cool. Temperature of 50 there. Visibility is good at all the airports, but there will be a little bit of patchy fog. We are seeing upper 40s from Willard to Gumboro, Dagsboro, 47 in Harrington. So it is chilly, 40s and low 50s with mid to upper 50s at the beaches. The winds are light, and we are looking at clear skies right now. A few storms moving off the coast of Delmarva. Otherwise, we're looking at sunshine as high pressure builds in today, but the sky is a little hazy, a little smoky due to the Canadian wildfires. Clear skies this morning. Watch for patchy fog improving conditions as we go through the morning, and then sunny and pleasant as we go into the afternoon and evening commute. And call the Coast TV First Alert weather phone, sponsored by Brockstead Mandalis Federico.
Thank you, Bob. June marks Pride Month across the country. There will be parades, festivals, and concerts to celebrate the LGBTQ+ community. The New York Pride Parade is among the largest and well-known. About 2 million people attended in 2019, and World Pride is happening right now in Washington, D.C. Pride Month started as a tribute to those who took part in the Stonewall riots. Coast TV spoke with a Milton local about the importance of Pride Month this year.
But the thing that I'm so excited about is none of us are giving into the fear. Hopefully that this year will be bigger and louder and brighter than ever.
And Pride Day itself is June 28th.
Well, sports fans, as you wake up this morning in the month of June, you Cape baseball fans might as well be waking up in 2022 or 2018 all over again, because the Vikings have won their 3rd state title in baseball in school history. Let's show you how it happened here at Frawley Stadium. Top seeded Cape showed out for the Viking faithful, beating Conrad 6-4. The Vikings rode a 5-run 3rd inning to the win, including this RBI double by Aiden Johnson, who said he just wanted to keep the line moving.
I knew he was struggling to find a zone, and it had to be a good one to hit, and I ended up fighting up a couple off and got a fastball that was in the zone and tried to stay on it and give him something for my team.
That cushion would come in handy in the 7th, and Conrad put the tying run at 2nd. But Jacob Smith relieved starter Jackson Clampett and sealed the state title with 1 pitch. Head coach Ben Evick says that's how the Vikings have won all season long.
We figured at some point they were going to, come to the plate and maybe put up a run or two. You just got to weather it, and we just told our guys stick with the approach, and they did, and that's what they've done all year long. They've had each other's backs and just compete.
This Cape team finishes tied for a school record with 21 wins this season, and now the Vikings' 3rd state title. Reporting from Wilmington, Tim Nolan, DSN.
And coming up tonight on DSN, your game of the night at 6:30. It is Blue Gold football. Then at 10 p.m., it's post-time harness racing. And at 10:30, you can catch the final score. Netflix's annual Toodum fan event took place over the weekend and provided a sneak peek at some of the streamers' most anticipated movies and shows. Douglas Hyde has more in today's Hollywood Minute.
Everyone is talking about the comeback kid. Happy Gilmore. Happy Gilmore. Happy Gilmore.
Yes, after nearly 30 years, Happy Gilmore is back in the swing of things. The first full trailer for Happy Gilmore 2 just dropped and shows some new and familiar faces. This time, Happy hits the course to earn money to put his daughter through ballet school. Happy Gilmore 2 tees off on July 25th.
We failed. But we need to be ready.
Are you ready for the 5th and final season of Stranger Things? Well, it won't be coming out all at once. Netflix is spreading out the release of the last 8 episodes over the holidays. The first batch streams around Thanksgiving, with more episodes arriving on Christmas Day and New Year's Eve. The action picks up in 1987, more than a year after the events of season 4.
It's just a murder. And I solved murders.
Benoit Blanc has a new murder to solve. Daniel Craig's Southern detective returns in Wake Up, Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. No word yet on the plot, but it's being teased as his most dangerous case yet. The 3rd installment in the popular mystery franchise debuts on December 12th. In Hollywood, I'm Douglas Hyde.
If you're having a rough week, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up now for free at coasttv.com and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday.
Live look right now at the Bay Health Cam in Dover. Beautiful brightening skies with the sun coming up. A cool and quiet start to the week. A pleasant Monday on the way. Then the 80s begin Tuesday with summer-like warmth the rest of the week. Upper 80s by the end of the week. I'll have the toasty details coming up in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
The time is now 5:47 and we are taking a live look outside at Salisbury this morning. And Bob, we said it's June. We said people are ready for the summer weather. You said today you need to be patient. It's coming.
You do, yeah.
Yes.
Just exercise patience
Relax.
today. Relax, pump the brakes because the warm weather is on the way, Elisa. Not so much today, and you step out the door now and it is chilly, but we're looking at sunshine today, a marvelous Monday. Highs in the low to mid 70s, comfortable, hazy skies due to some smoke from the Canadian wildfires. More on that coming up, and then midweek definitely feeling like summer, mid to upper 80s by the end of the week. Maybe an isolated 90-degree reading, but I think most of us stay in the 80s and turning muggy as well. We're in the mid 70s today, and then we jump to 81 on Tuesday, 85 Wednesday, and then Thursday, I think that's a warm day, 87, 86 on Friday, and humidity to go with that as well. But it is chilly this morning, 47 in Harrington and Redden, 48 in Bridgeville, Willards 49, 51 in Millsboro, 58 in Ocean City, 59 Indian River Inlet. So a little warmer at the coast, but it's a cool start as we have calm winds for the most part, a little bit of a breeze at the coast. And we're looking at mainly clear skies right now. Have been tracking some showers that are moving away from Delmarva. You can see these showers and storms that were off the coast of Cape Charles and Chincoteague earlier on. Those continue to move away. Otherwise, we have high pressure building in from the Ohio Valley. That stretches all the way down into the southeast, and eventually this high will slide offshore. Then we'll get into the return flow around that high, and then we'll see temperatures really warming up as we have a warm dome that will be developing to our west and then moving over the top of us for the week ahead. Here are the temperatures this morning. Chilly in the 50s, and then by mid-morning we're in the 60s with mostly sunny skies, and you'll notice that hazy complexion to the sky, smoky conditions with temperatures near 70, I think around the noon hour, inland areas in the low 70s from Salisbury to Georgetown, Selbyville by 3 o'clock, cooler 60s at the coast. It's not going to be a great beach day, into the 60s, close to 70, but I think we stay in the 60s here and then 70s inland. Then we go through tonight and it's another chilly night with mostly clear skies by morning into the 50s, and then we start the warm up tomorrow by the afternoon, 81 in Delmar, 82 in Salisbury, Milton 80 degrees, but still a little chilly at the beaches. Keep in mind the water temperature still in the lower 60s, but you'll be seeing highs in the mid 60s and then comfortable conditions into Tuesday evening. You may have noticed the hazy conditions over the weekend with the smoke from the Canadian wildfires, and we'll be looking at low to moderate readings of smoke as we go through midnight tonight. But then look at this orange and red color. That's indicating a lot of smoke aloft as we go into Tuesday. So really not a health concern. It will make for nice sunrises and sunsets. Muggy meter, we're still comfortable the next couple of days, but then we ramp up that humidity into the muggy range midweek, and then by the end of the week, definitely feeling like summer with humid to very humid conditions. Paul, they have a 7-day forecast, mid 70s today, lots of sunshine. We do have a dry week ahead, 81 Tuesday, and then mid 80s to upper 80s by Thursday and Friday. Looks like a chance of storms by Saturday, a high of 82. So a little cooler into the weekend and then drier on Sunday, but still warm, a high of 81.
Thank you, Bob. The Atlantic hurricane season is now underway and forecasters are expecting a rough one. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration is predicting a 60% chance of an above normal season. The agency is forecasting up to 19 total named storms, and up to 10 of those are expected to become hurricanes with 74 mile-per-hour winds or higher. That includes 3 to 5 major hurricanes when winds hit 111 miles per hour or higher. The Atlantic hurricane season lasts from June 1st until November 30th. Virginia is silencing distractions in public schools. Governor Glenn Youngkin signs legislation codifying the bell-to-bell cell phone-free education policy. The initiative was established through Executive Order 33. The rule restricts phone use from the beginning to the end of the school day with the goal of helping kids focus and improving their mental health. Accomack County Public Schools has already implemented its own cell phone policy. Some Camden business owners are worried about the town's proposed budget, and today that document is up for a final reading. The plan, introduced in early May, would increase residential property taxes by 46% and commercial property taxes by 87%. Town officials say they have not raised taxes in more than a decade, but many business owners argue the hike was introduced with little transparency. With an already uncertain economy, and business owners say the increase is making it even harder to stay afloat.
They have to work with the community and the business leaders here to be able to come to that resolution to where is it fair, where can people afford, this tax rate, and doubling it is not the answer.
Camden is scheduled to hold its second and final reading of that budget today at 7 o'clock. And the time is now 5:52, and we're going to check in with our coastal pet of the day. And today's coastal pet of the day loves adventurous walks. On your screen right now is Hanshi. As you can see, Hanshi is the happiest in the great outdoors. Hanshi was submitted to us by Pamela in Lincoln. And we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. You can take a look at your screen, scan the QR code at the top of your screen, and submit your furry friend to Coast TV News. Then, of course, watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all of the pets we feature. Newly released research shows findings on colon cancer treatment and prevention. One study looked at 900 colon cancer patients, and it found a 28% reduction in the risk of reoccurrence of new cancer for patients on a regular exercise program. Another new study found that anti-inflammatory diets also helped improve survival rates for people in advanced stages of colon cancer. School's finishing up, and for teen drivers, that isn't good news. According to AAA, more than 13,000 people were killed in a crash involving a teen driver between 2019 and 2023. The agency said over 30% of those deaths happened between Memorial Day and Labor Day. That's because teens are out of school and logging more hours of unsupervised driving time. Parents are encouraged to educate their teens on using the Do Not Disturb feature on their phones to ease distracted driving. Removing fluoride from public drinking water could have costly consequences, including leading to more cavities in children. That's according to a new modeling study. Fluoride is a mineral that can help prevent tooth decay, and researchers from Harvard School of Dental Medicine assessed clinical oral health data from the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey. From that data, they estimated that removing fluoride from public water in the U.S. would lead to more than 25 million decayed teeth in kids within 5 years. And the time is now 5:57, so we're going to take another look at your forecast before you begin your Monday. Bob, it is cool out this morning. The good news is it's dry, no rain like we had on Saturday. And you said be patient because it's going to feel like summer soon.
It is. Not so much today, Elisa, but definitely as we go into Tuesday and beyond. But it's chilly out the door. A lot of us starting in the 40s, and then 50s, and then lots of sunshine today. Temperatures into the lower 70s this afternoon, high around 74. Once again, kind of hazy due to smoke out there. And then here's your Paul Davis 10-day forecast, 81 Tuesday, and then the big warm-up as we go into the middle of the week with temperatures into the mid to upper 80s, 87 by Thursday, Friday 86 degrees, and then we're looking at cooler conditions as we go into the weekend. On Sunday 81, and then looking like a little stormy perhaps by next week, Monday 78, and then by Wednesday 82 with sunshine.
Coming up in our next hour, Power Play, how some Delaware lawmakers are attempting to override local government authority when it comes to the controversial wind farm project. All that and more when Coast TV News Today returns.